I'm joined with James. We've obviously invested in a lot of businesses throughout the years. And one thing that we've always kind of homed in on is how to improve lead quality, how to get rid of the crappier leads, the leads that cause you more headaches, and generate more of the actual quality. So, what are some things that you recommend to people?
So there's lots of different things that you can go through. So the first thing is it shared leads? Is it exclusive leads? Generally speaking, exclusive leads are better than shared leads because you're the only one that's going to get it. So you're not up against your competition. It's not a price down to the bottom. So exclusive leads make it a better type of lead. The next part then could be an SQL lead. So that's a sales qualified lead. Could you pre-qualify those leads into being hot leads to be specifically what you're looking for? So are they earning over X amount and they're looking to buy a mortgage over £300,000? That's what that mortgage broker might want. And if it falls below that threshold, they might not be able to help them. So if you can pre-qualify and be a sales and generate sales qualified leads, that's a lot better. And then the third one, before you kind of expand on it, would be a longer contact form. So asking more questions at the front end, yes, it will slightly affect conversion rate on the website for how many people inquire, but the more data you get, the more you can segment and give it to the right company for specifically what they're looking for.
Yeah, so let's tackle the first one that you actually mentioned, and that was, are they exclusive leads or are they shared leads? Because that's probably where I would start with. And for anybody that doesn't know what the difference is, a shared lead, it could be going out to, let's say, five of your competitors. It might be on certain platforms like Check a Trade or Bark or Premium Yell listings, certain platforms like that. Those platforms are notoriously known for, if, say, for example, if I'm a roofer and James is a roofer, we're both going to get the same lead because we've signed up to the same service. And again, we're just fighting for the cheapest price at that point. And I personally don't like doing that. I always like to make the most net profit as I possibly can. So figuring out what platform the actual leads have come from, that's super important, whether it's SEO, whether it's PPC, whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's Twitter, Pinterest, wherever the case is. So I would definitely, if you haven't already, set up tracking on your contact form and try to actually figure out where are these leads coming from. Is it potentially your GMB, right? And the reason for that is it's important going into step number 2, because as soon as you know, okay, I've had, let's say, 10 inquiries, 5 of which have come from a premium listing, premium directory, and I've not been able to close any of those inquiries, you might then be able to allocate more budget into, let's say, local SEO, because then at that point, you know exactly where to spend the most money, where the actual inquiries or where the converted inquiries are coming from. The next thing that you touched on was the actual contact form. So having more questions in your contact forms, super important. Like what James mentioned, it can definitely, like if you're running PPC, it can definitely increase the cost per lead. You might go from, let's say, £5 cost per lead to £25 cost per lead, but just by adding in, let's say, 8 or 9 more questions. But at that point, that person is way more attuned to actually speaking to your sales reps and actually closing. You don't just want to look at cost per click or cost per conversion as well, because in some cases that can definitely be vanity metrics. There's certain keywords or certain clients that you would happily spend more on because you know, okay, there's way more profit margin in that type of inquiry, or there's way less headaches with that type of inquiry. I'll happily spend £150 on that type of client. So just take a look at that. There was one other thing that you mentioned as well.
I think there's something else that I've not touched on that I think is really important as well. Is generally speaking, if you're teaming up with a lead generation company, the best lead generation companies will ask you a lot of questions. And it's
Mhm.
so important for them to ask you those questions to see where do you make your money and what is the best type of lead that you can have. Because then what they can do is they can focus on the correct keywords, not just the cheap keywords, but going after the keywords with the correct commercial intent is so important. And we ask a lot of questions. In fact, we ask so many questions that a lot of our clients who've now been with us for a long time says, I was borderline saying I can't be bothered answering anymore. But that's kind of like, we want to ask you so many questions to live and breathe the industry so we understand exactly where you make money. And what the difference between that and a lot of other lead generation companies is they just care about volume, and everything's about volume, and it's not about the quantity of inquiries that you get. It's about the quality and the conversion. How much money are you going to get from them leads? I don't want to fill up a sales member of staff on £50,000 a year with 50 average leads. I'd sooner give them 5 quality leads that they're going to convert 3 or 4 out of them 5. That's what I want to do, and I want to nurture those leads as much as I can to go from just being a cold web lead to being a sales qualified lead, and trying to get that inquiry to be as good as it can be so that the salespeople can be converting.
Yeah, definitely. So a few other things to touch on. I'm just looking at my notes here. So how to improve wrong notes. How to improve your lead quality. Another thing as well, if you're running PPC, obviously adding more keywords to your negative keyword list, that can definitely help. A lot of people, I don't know if you've seen this yourself, but a lot of people, they'll go and spend couple grand a month on PPC and they will never even set up a negative keyword list. Do you want to go through as to why that's important?
Yeah, so obviously if someone's, let's say, an accountant, and then they're going after keywords for accountants Bolton, well, if they're going after those keywords, you don't know that as it starts coming through, people might be searching for jobs or careers or courses or an apprenticeship deal, and you're running those ads for customers, not for new staff. So you need to be making certain that anything that starts coming through that's not meeting the intent and the desired outcome of you winning more clients, at that point, they need loaded into the negative keyword list. So if there's any type of brands that you don't work with, put them into the negative keyword list. If there's like someone types in boiler and then they're looking for funding, and you don't do funding, you just do installation, be negative keyword listing that. So there's lots of different things of what you can be loading in there to make certain that that doesn't form part of your volume of inquiries, because you're not going to be converting them.
A really good example of this that I saw lately is there was a company that installs double glazing windows in the UK, and they just spent, I think it was like £15,000 over a 3-month period, so £5,000 a month. They checked the keywords that they were actually showing up for, and you could say, well, why did it take them that long? I suppose it's kind of just one of those things that they just done, set it and forgot about it. They're actually showing up for Windows 11, Windows 10. So you've obviously got some examples like that you just need to be careful of. So, for example, if somebody's searching for Windows 11, you install double glazing windows, you can't sell somebody. So, yeah, definitely improving your actual negative keyword list. Another thing as well is setting up retargeting. That can definitely improve your lead quality. So, for anybody that doesn't know what retargeting is, obviously, if you're spending SEO, or if you're spending money on SEO, or if you're spending money on PPC, for example, you will have a subset of people that will visit your website but will never inquire with you. They might, for example, life might get in the way. They might be on the way to picking up the kids, and they'll just forget about you. They won't fill out your contact form. Retargeting is the practice of when they go on Facebook or Instagram, they will be shown a advertisement and they will essentially be trying to get pushed back onto your website to fill out that contact form. Typically speaking, retargeting leads are real high converting leads, mainly because they've already potentially searched for your product or your service. They've just forgot about you. So that's another way of improving lead quality. What other things as well would you recommend?
That's everything. I think we've gone through everything now and improving lead quality in 2025. If anyone's got any questions, leave a comment in the comment section to see, are you doing anything different to improve the quality of the leads that you're having generated? Or if you are looking for more leads, more quality leads, that is, check out fatrank.com, fill in the form there and see whether you qualify for the lead generation service.
Thanks for watching.